Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Farmer Brown, and welcome to my Dragonfruit orchard. Today I'll be talking about pollination, and as you know, there are lots of varieties of dragonfruit out there, and they all require different methods of pollination. This trellis in front of me has about 3 different varieties of dragonfruit on it. These that are flowering are the purple haze variety. This variety falls in the self-sterile category, meaning it needs pollen from another dragon fruit to set fruit. Now the other variety is a local undatus, a white flesh. Now this variety, its pollen can be used to pollinate the purple haze. And the purple haze will give you some very big fruits and high quality fruits like this. This is a purple haze that will be harvested tomorrow, hopefully. As you can see, I have a lot of pollinators here. You can also depend on pollinators if you have other sources of pollen close by to pollinate your sterile varieties. Now this is an unknown red variety, and this variety is self-pollinating and self-fertile, meaning it can set its own fruit with its own pollen without pollination, or unpollination I should say. So as a beginner, you want to mix your varieties. You want to plant self-fertile, self-sterile varieties. Self-fertile varieties sometimes can be self-pollinating as well. So you're not required to pollinate them. Or the bees are not required to pollinate them as well. They can pollinate themselves. And when it comes to self-sterile varieties, there are a lot of them out there, and they are very good fruits. Good fruits in the terms that they are well sought after and they are very tasty. You want to have a lot of them in your collection, and also you want to have a lot of self-fertile in your collection as well, because you will need to collect pollen to pollinate your self-sterile varieties. You can leave the bees to do that work, but you won't get type of fruits that you would want to get. You'll get some small fruits, but when you collect pollen and pollinate your self-sterile varieties, you'll get very big, high quality fruit like this. These flowers will fall about 2 days from now or 3 days because they were not pollinated. This is also a purple haze variety, the same self-sterile variety that I showed you before. This was not pollinated with pollen from another variety, so this flower will fall. What you can also do is, when you're establishing your trellises, you can plant 1 self-fertile with 3 self-sterile, or 2 self-sterile with 1 self-fertile, and that 1 self-fertile will pollinate the self-sterile plants without you have to intervene. This variety in front of me is called the Ecuador Palora. This one is self-fertile and self-pollinating. You don't have to pollinate this one. This is the yellow skin dragon fruit. Now these fruits were pollinated by the bees. Sometimes the bees can do a very good job of pollination. That's if your self-fertile plant is close by and it has a lot of pollen. So the bees will go to and from the various varieties, and they'll do a good job of pollinating fruit sometimes. But I would suggest you get up in the night when the flowers are open, and pollinate them yourselves. All these flowers that have withered will be gone in a few days because I didn't pollinate these, and there weren't any pollen source at the time they opened, so all these flowers will fall. They won't set any fruit. Now there's a trick to pollination. If you're, say for example, you're leaving and your flowers are opening the same evening or the same night, you can force open your flowers and pollinate them. Now this method has worked for a lot of dragon fruit growers, but I haven't tried it myself. But it is proven. So you can force open your flowers. Like this flower will be opening tonight. So you can open it. And you can get pollen from another variety if it's not self-fertile, and pollinate it. And it should set fruit. It will set fruit. Or you can even establish an apiary or a few boxes of bees in your dragon fruit orchard, and they will pollinate your dragon fruits for you. Because with an apiary close by and a lot of movement from the bees, I'm sure you will get high quality fruits. So that's it for pollination. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Farmer Brown out.